Over 30,000 people depend directly on Mount Bamboutos for their livelihoods. Despite this dependence, Mount Bamboutos has undergone unprecedented degradation over the years. This degradation is triggered by human activities such as deforestation, hunting, bad farming practices, amongst others. The use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides is very common in this landscape. The continuous degradation of this great elevation that cuts across 3 administrative regions of Cameroon has led to acute water shortages, recurring landslides, soil erosion, and a host of other environmentally related problems in communities along this mountain.
The highly degraded Mount Bamboutos has negative consequences across the entire chain, not only on communities living on the mountain, but also on down users. On communities living on the mountains, the immediate impact is felt at the level of the availability of water. There's no water to support the households. There's no water to support the farming operations going on at the level of intensity in which it is at this time. And consequently, we begin to find a lot of conflicts, water user conflicts across the mountain. That's the very first impact. The second impact, negative impact of it, is the rate at which the water sources are being degraded. The rate at which water is drying off because everybody is fighting to have some amount of water available for their farming operations and households. The second level of impact of the absence of water, the degradation, which the hydrology is at the level of the regional and national levels. The volume of water supplying our hydroelectric systems and the volume of water supplying our potable water systems in communities, in urban centers surrounded around the Mount Bamboutos is extremely too low. We move to towns like Bunda, we move to towns in the BLM, we move to towns in like Bafusam, etc. We find standing types but no water. Those are the consequences. Today, the decreasing water volumes are also decreasing the amount of water available for hydroelectric power. Water corporations are the same, farming operations are the same, etc., etc.
Mount Bamboutos was the envy of Africa in terms of biodiversity some 5 decades ago. This mountain harbored rare species such as cross-river gorillas, chimpanzees, elephants, and butterflies. What is obtained today of the mountain only triggers nostalgic feelings.
100 years down the lane, we'll find elephants, we'll find cross-river gorillas, we'll find chimpanzees, we'll find other general types of monkeys, the green monkeys, we'll find antelopes, we'll find leopards, we'll find a whole range of birds, mountain birds, sub-mountain birds, forest, towering forest birds, all line up from 180 meters high to 2,740 meters high. This was 100 years ago, and when we conduct a time series remote sensing, we find out that the disappearance of the forest, of the vegetation, was also leading to the disappearance of these species of biodiversity. And today, as we speak, the top of the mountain, starting from 2,000 meters up to 2,740 meters, is almost completely gone. The piedmont of the mountain has some relics of forest, which ERuDeF came in 2004 and discovered the subspecies of the cross-river gorillas, and has worked over the last 10 years, created what today we call the Tofahhi Wildlife Sanctuary to protect the last species of the cross-river gorillas and the Nigerian Cameroon chimpanzees. At the summit, we still have a good number of amphibians, unique, endemic to Mount Bamboutos. These species of amphibians still remain and could be protected. We still have some relics of vegetation in called the riparian forest and the gallery forest that still remains and still harboring a small population of the birds, mountain birds which are endemic, which are threatened, and because of that it's still an interesting area for conservation. All in all, it's interesting to know that over 90% of the area has been degraded, taking away 90% of its biodiversity.
Population growth and the quest for survival has been the driving force for the unfortunate degradation of this mountain. It is for this reason that the Environment and Rural Development Foundation (ERuDeF), together with the International Tree Foundation (ITF), developed a project to restore the ecosystem functions of this mountain known as the Mount Bamboutos Initiative. The 15-year project that was launched in August 2018 seeks to restore 35,000 hectares of the degraded Mount Bamboutos through the planting of 15 million trees. This project has succeeded to galvanize stakeholders at different levels in restoring the mountain. Balang village, West region of Cameroon. It means square is busy as usual. Inhabitants of this community live in harmony. For they live in harmony, they have one peculiar problem. Taps are dry. The reason why these taps are dry even in the rainy season when they should normally be flowing is because of the continuous degradation of Mount Bamboutos water sources. Makeup, still in Balang village, hosts numerous water catchments. It equally hosts a secret forest that attracts hundreds of tourists each year. Despite its hydrological and touristic potentials, Makeup has been evaded from all fronts, with almost all trees felled down to make room for agricultural land. Makeup is one of the priority tree planting sites in Balang community. ERuDeF and her local partner PD has continued to engage inhabitants of this community in planting water-generating trees in this area. The year 2020 witnessed remarkable successes in tree planting in this part of Mount Bamboutos thanks to the extraordinary commitment of the locals. Their wish is to have water in abundance in Balang community, as was the case when Mount Bamboutos was still intact. Manfred Christophe is one of the traditional leaders of Balang community. He is not only an ambassador of the Mbi project, but has taken part in all tree planting exercises carried out by ERuDeF and her local partners in his community.
C'est parce que depuis un bon bout de temps là, la pénurie d'eau manque ici dans Bangan. Raison pour laquelle quand les Bangans ont appris qu'il y avait cette ONG qui devait nous appuyer à planter les arbres tout le long des cours d'eau et surtout sur les sources, puisque nous sommes ici vers Messan, vers le village Messan, et là où tous les cours d'eau naissent. Donc c'est salutaire pour tout ce groupement. Et comme on a désigné que 4 villages pour faire ce reboisement sur les cours d'eau là, il s'agit du village Messan, du village Baleke, du village Sopia, Moko et Bororo. Nous sommes satisfaits. Vous avez vu comment les gens ont la bonne volonté de venir planter ces arbres. Et les agriculteurs sont aussi parfois à cause. Vous voyez qu'ils plantent et qu'ils cultivent jusqu'au cours d'eau. Ils ne laissent même pas au moins 5 mètres pour que l'eau ait une fraîcheur en saison sèche.
One of the outstanding peculiarities of Mount Bamboutos Initiative is the active involvement of youth and women. Donlan Angeline is an enthusiast of Mount Bamboutos Initiative. She has never failed to take part in any MBI-related activity in her village.
Ce qui m'a fait faire le travail, c'est parce qu'il y avait trop de manque d'eau dans le village Bangan. Et que quand j'ai entendu qu'il y avait un groupe pour planter des arbres et protéger de l'eau pour que ça ça ne se sèche plus en saison. Pourquoi on a eu manque d'eau dans le village, ça m'a beaucoup intéressé avant que j'ai eu la peine d'être aussi parmi.
J'ai juste un petit café resto au niveau de mon village. On a remarqué qu'en saison sèche, franchement, quand la sécheresse commence, on a manque d'eau. On a vraiment manque d'eau. Et quand aussi j'ai entendu parler de cette organisation qui est en train de reboiser les sources d'eau, qui peut nous permettre d'alimenter notre village. Franchement, je suis intéressé. Et j'appelle aussi tous les autres jeunes de nous rejoindre et que nous puissions tous aller en avant avec ceci, car ça va nous aider.
Planting trees is one thing, protecting them is another. Franken Felix thinks that the best way to protect these trees is by penalizing those who destroy them.
Quand nous avons tenu la réunion à Mangwa, hôtel Mangwa de Bouddha, avec les autorités en place, et nous avons demandé aussi qu'on saisisse les autorités pour qu'ils aient ensemble, pour qu'ils font la même main d'œuvre et qui protègent ces arbres avec nous. Parce que les populations, il y a les ignorants qui sont prêts à détruire après nous. Mais il faudrait qu'ils sachent qu'il y a une pénalité à l'égard de celui qui a détruit l'arbre. Et le moment venu, nous allons fixer un taux auquel une disparition d'arbres doit être payée, indemnisée par celui qui l'a enlevé ou détruit ou brûlé. L'arrivée de ce projet, ça fait la levée de l'ignorance sur les têtes de certains gens. Et ceux qui ne savaient pas que l'arbre c'est la vie et l'eau c'est la vie, actuellement ils doivent connaître.
One of the most active ethnic groups in Bangang community as far as the Mount Bamboutos Initiative is concerned are the Bororos. Most of them are grazers and are considered as settlers. Irrespective of this, Salima sees himself as a full member of Bangang community. He had not missed any tree planting exercise since the Mbi project started, 2020 not being an exception.
Bon, I don't be very happy for this work where we don't come for work, for plant, stick them, for give away water. Ben, we do so with the lack water for all Bangang. Bon, now so we don't join for hill, for play water they come out. Bon, I don't see people don't come join plenty for Sika, for plant that stick them, for give water. But I don't be very happy for that one.
Tazo Yang has been the brain behind the mobilization of people in Bangang village for tree planting and other MBI related activities. The commitment of locals in tree planting, according to the CEO of Pede, is an indication that 2020 is a promising year for the MBI project.
Je suis très satisfait pour la première journée de la plantation des arbres ici à Moko. Très content de la population qui est sortie massivement malgré la pluie. On a quand même beaucoup planté et je suis très content de leur engagement sur le terrain. Tout le monde était sur le terrain, la majorité des gens étaient sur le terrain. En même temps, on était en train de planter, en même temps, ils étaient en train de sensibiliser les gens qu'on a trouvés sur le terrain. Ça me rassure que le travail cette année sera très encourageant. Et on a commencé déjà à identifier des personnes qui cultivent tout autour. On va même aller de porte à porte pour les sensibiliser, pour leur dire l'importance de plantes qu'on est en train de planter.
community, precisely Femok village, stay in the west region of Cameroon. Femok village is a horticultural hub. This community, just like Bangan, has been suffering from acute water shortages owing to the degradation of Mount Bamboutos. Inhabitants fetch water from doubtful sources, making waterborne diseases unavoidable. The onset of Mount Bamboutos Initiative in 2018 marked a new dawn for Femok village. Inhabitants of this community, like never before, are very assured that Mount Bamboutos ecosystem functions will be restored, that they will have water in their community in abundance once again. They are not only committed in tree planting, but most of them have surrendered their farmlands for trees to be planted on. Trees are planted in degraded riparian forest and around water catchments. Mount Bamboutos Initiative has not only charmed adults in Femok village, but also kids. They may not participate directly in tree planting, but they have their own way of contributing. Safak Yang is the Vice President of the Village Forest Management Committee of Femok. He doubles as the traditional ruler of his village. He and other members of the Village Forest Management Committee are bent on assuring that all trees planted actually survive.
Cependant, voilà le raffia qu'on est en train de faire ça aujourd'hui. Et ce n'est pas pour la première fois, c'est plusieurs d'autres années, c'est la même chose qu'on a fait. Et cette année, 2020, c'est ça qu'on fait. Ben, nous, on a mis notre société en 2018. Dès qu'on a mis, on s'est mis directement au travail. Et on travaille avec mention. Et nous assurons que vraiment, on va aller jusqu'au bout. Et je remercie grandement encore nos chefs. Non seulement le comité forêt, ils ont venu encore instaurer un comité de surveillance auquel ça va nous permettre à chaque semaine de passer, vérifier pied par pied ce qu'on a mis. Effectivement, ce qui est pourri, on va le remplacer à Imas. Nous sommes très fiers de travailler.
Domfak Demes works with Green Impact, ERuDeF's local partner. He and his organization has been working with locals of Femok village since the start of the Mbi project. He has been sensitizing farmers of this village to stop the use of chemical fertilizers.
Le projet de reboisement des Mount Bamboutos ici vise donc à restaurer les espaces dégradés. Pourquoi? Parce que comme vous pouvez le constater de partout, en saison de pluie, on observe de nombreuses inondations. Pourquoi? Les populations se lancent beaucoup plus dans l'agriculture, comme vous pouvez le voir un peu de partout là. Et en faisant cette agriculture, ils défrichent presque systématiquement tous les arbres. Et ainsi donc, le sol est très dégradé. Ici donc, l'objectif est de planter des espèces d'arbres à différentes fonctions. Nous avons des espèces biofertilisantes pour non seulement sensibiliser les populations dans la diminution des produits phytosanitaires ou des pesticides qu'ils utilisent ici et de fertiliser le sol de façon biologique.
We continue our journey to Babaju village in the west region of Cameroon. Locals of this village are also committed to making Mount Bamboutos Initiative a success.
Comme vous partez là, il y a les prunes là-bas que vous allez partager. C'est encore à parler pour nous.
Mochiko Louise is an energetic woman. She is one of the main pillars of the Mbi project. She has never failed to answer present in any Mbi related activity. She, like others, is assured that planting trees on Mount Bamboutos is very critical in solving the water crisis in her village.
How we don't plant this stick will go up. How it go up, we go cover ground. Water go come up plenty, water go down, that when they come put them for that gramoso when they come for deep place put and they come put and again for because water go beam for all places and they take water how and people for side up when they jam water so then they drink some kind of water cholera the make all the give sick.
Okay.
Yeah, cholera go finish.
Natia Ambrose has the same convictions as Mbojiko Louis.
You see this sick when we plant them so. Na for look at the sit. Where the water, where because the water they for so it help all people. Yes. And now where the one say me this is sick them grow. Cover the place. Okay. Yeah. Cover the place. Give plenty water.
We end our journey in the northwest region of Cameroon, precisely at Bochi village, where inhabitants have a religious commitment as far as the Mbi project is concerned. Though Agnes is committed to making the Mbi project a success in her village. To her, the Mbi project will solve a host of problems, including global warming.
For this Mbi project, I will start with the nursery. So again, they will advocate for forest technicians. So I run up fully for do the job because I want to make my community benefit from the Mbi project. It will be a whole watershed. We don't see plenty advantages for tree planting because they will change the texture of the soil, make it be more fertile where we know to use chemical ingredients like fertilizer. The planting of these trees, they will solve the problem of global warming and it will let this community get continuous flow of drinking water because water is alive. When you take in dirty water, it causes the problem of cholera and other diseases. So we'll be very, very impressed with the initiators of the program and the partners because it don't also come to bring the members of this community together for sit like a body and they discuss issues that will help the future generation.
Deji Himan is the coordinator of the Mount Bamboutos Initiative. According to him, 2020 is a remarkable year as far as tree planting is concerned.
This year we are actually very impressed with what is happening as far as tree planting is concerned. This year is not like last year when we were still trying to bring together the community members to understand exactly the importance of tree planting. So we are happy that the population are gradually becoming so interested and committed as far as tree planting is concerned. This year we have an impressive number of tree species that we were able to raise, and we have the sizes are more encouraging compared to last year. So it was not easy last year for us to be able to plant the required number of trees, but this year with a lot of mobilization that we have made, the population are more engaged and committed in the tree planting. We started with tree planting in Bangang and the turnout was very, very impressive with the Mboro community actually taking the lead. We are able to plant in areas where we thought it was going to be very difficult for us to secure these areas. But with a lot of mobilization and sensitization, and also with the putting in place of a land use plan for the project, we're able to secure water catchment, we're able to secure riparian forest, we're able to secure community forest and the sacred forest, where the community are actually engaged and they are ready to protect all these areas. So we are sure this year we are going to have impressive result compared to last year. And this is thanks to the village forest management committees that have been leading this tree planting since the beginning of the planting season this year. So you can see this riparian forest that have been used for as an agricultural area. But then
the community have decided with the farmers that we are going to restore this area. Reason why you see us planting trees even on farms, even that the communities have accepted that these areas are going to be protected in order to be able to preserve their water resources. So we are actually very, very encouraged by the turnout of the population for this tree planting season 2020.